You woke up this morning with a plan, nothing crazy, just a few things you wanted to get done. But then your brain started, should I do this first or that first? What if I pick wrong? What if I'm wasting my time on the wrong thing entirely? And now it's 2 p.m. You've been in your head for 4 hours and nothing has moved. That's not laziness. That's not lack of motivation. That's overthinking, and it's quietly running your life. Here's what nobody tells you about overthinking. It doesn't feel like a problem at first. It feels like being thorough. It feels like caring, like you're just someone who takes things seriously, who thinks before they act. And that's a good thing, right? I know what you're thinking. But what if you just genuinely need more time to think things through? Fair. But here's the difference between thinking and overthinking. Thinking moves you toward a decision. Overthinking loops you back to the start. I had a period in my early 20s where I spent 3 weeks deciding whether to start a journal. 3 weeks. I read about different methods, I watched videos, I debated whether I needed lined paper or blank paper. And the whole time I told myself I was being careful. I wasn't. I was scared, and thinking felt safer than doing. That's what I call the spinning wheel. Your mind is working hard, it looks like progress, but you're not actually going anywhere. The wheel just keeps turning. And the cruel part is, the longer you spin, the worse it gets. Because now you've also got guilt about all the time you've already spent. So the decision gets heavier, the stakes feel higher, and the wheel spins faster. Here's the shift I want you to make. And it's a small one, but it changes everything. Overthinking is not a thinking problem, it's a trust problem. You don't trust that you can handle the outcome if you choose wrong. So your brain keeps thinking, keeps analyzing, keeps looking for a guarantee that doesn't exist, and no amount of extra thinking will give you that guarantee. That's why it loops. When you understand that, the solution stops being think better and starts being act sooner. Not recklessly, just sooner. Because action is actually the only thing that gives you the real information you've been searching for. So I want to give you something practical. 5 steps I call the spinning wheel method. This is exactly what I used to get out of my own head, and what I still come back to whenever I feel the loop starting again. Let's go through it. Step 1. Name the loop. When you notice you're overthinking, say it out loud. Literally say, I'm in the loop. Not to judge yourself, just to see it clearly. You can't step out of something you haven't named. If you're going around in circles about a decision, that's the signal. The loop has started. Step 2. Set a thinking timer. Give yourself 10 minutes and only 10 minutes to think it through properly. Set an actual timer on your phone. When it goes off, the thinking phase is over. This sounds almost too simple, but it works because it removes the illusion that more time will bring more clarity. Usually it won't. Step 3. Pick the smallest possible action, not the full decision, just the next tiny move. If you're overthinking a project, the action isn't finish the project, it's open the document. If you're overthinking a conversation, it's send the first message. Tiny actions break the spell because they shift you from thinking mode into doing mode. Step 4. Expect discomfort, don't fight it. Here's something important. When you take that first action, you will feel uncomfortable. That tight, uncertain feeling in your chest, that's not a warning sign. That's just what forward motion feels like when you've been still for too long. Let it be there. Keep going anyway. Step 5. Review, don't replay. After you act, give yourself 2 minutes to reflect, not to replay every detail and decide you did it wrong. There's a difference. Reflecting asks, what did I learn? Replaying just reopens the loop. 2 minutes, one honest takeaway, then move on. 2 things will quietly kill your progress here. The first is perfectionism wearing a disguise. You'll think you're being careful and thorough, but actually you're just waiting to feel ready. You won't feel ready. That feeling comes after, not before. The second is doing this alone without any output. Overthinking thrives in silence. When you write your thoughts down, even messily, even badly, they lose their power. Get them out of your head and onto a page. That alone will break more loops than anything else I've mentioned. Look, you're not someone who thinks too much because something is wrong with you. You think too much because you care and you're trying to protect yourself. That part makes sense. But the version of you that you're working towards, that person doesn't wait for certainty. They just move, adjust, and move again. Start with step 3 today. Just the smallest possible action on one thing you've been circling. Then come tell me in the comments what that action was. I want to know.